All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the July 9th committee meetings. We'll start with Public Safety and Commissioner Brockington.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to call tonight's public safety meeting to order, 7:32 p.m. My first item on the agenda tonight is the receipt of our police chief's report for the month of May 2025. I think we have someone pitch hitting here for the chief tonight. Yes, you're on.
Good evening. How you doing, sir?
Good evening. Good evening.
So I apologize on behalf of the chief. He's officiating a family wedding. I don't know exactly what that means, if he's actually part of the wedding or if he's got some special powers we don't know about as police chief. Maybe to marry people.
Do that.
Would that be a shotgun wedding?
I don't want to speak on his behalf for this. Good
right.
pun.
Go
So I'll dive right in for the numbers. Calls for service, slightly up, but still on par with what we were dealing with last year. Part 1 crimes, which are always a cause for concern, they would be your most serious crimes. We have a slight reduction. And you can see I'm going to knock on some: homicide 0, rape 0. So some of our most serious categories, we're doing well there. 4 burglaries, I think, were reported. There were always cause for concern, and 2 robberies.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. No, go ahead.
I was going to say retail thefts, slight upward trend there. I think we're at 125 for May. Oh, excuse me, 88 for May. So down this month, but then slight trend upwards for the whole year. Keep in mind that Walgreens shut down. That was one of our worst stores. So that is, we're going to see a decline in numbers there.
Gotcha.
The other May 2025 numbers for our Part 2 crimes, simple assaults, forgery, things of that nature, we're at 159. So slightly below last year at 186. And there's the breakdown there. Crash data, it's another important trend. Obviously, we don't want to see people injured in motor vehicle crashes. So for May 2025, we're looking at 157 vehicle crashes, fatal 0, and then auto versus ped 0. So again, 2 of the more serious categories there for breakdown. Traffic enforcement, you're going to see some good numbers there for May. Traffic citations, we're at 324. Speed out of there was 76, so good numbers. And then I'm going to jump down to the bus patrol citations. That was 490, so high. And we can address, there's a couple things we're working on for the start of the next school year. Obviously, school is out of session now. Arrests on the next page, you can see the clearances there. Felony, misdemeanor 11, summary 6. And then that was for Cheltenham residents, Philadelphia residents 22, summary 6, and then others, so not fitting those 2 categories, 7 for felony misdemeanor, 0 summary for that. Category just below will be the adult arrest for May 25. That is 52, and then year to date we're at 247, and that is an upward trend from the year before. Below that, you'll have your juvenile arrests. Cheltenham juveniles for May, 0. Summary was also 0. Then 2 for Philadelphia for felony and misdemeanor, and 1 summary. No outside juveniles from those from outside of those 2 categories. And then the adult clearances page, you'll see that's the breakdown of all of our adult arrests. Of note, kind of going through, I took a look, is going to be a lot of arrest on warrant. So those are things that are kind of hanging out there. There's a warrant taken out on somebody. Those could also be people that do not answer a summons for court or don't show up for some reason, and there's a warrant put out on them. Another thing I'll touch on real quick is this is actually kind of a fun one the chief wanted me to hit on, was community engagement. This would not be for May, but we had a really good cop camp very well attended. There was, I think, 24 kids. Thanks to the Cheltenham School District for that. They did a good job letting us have the building, all the resources we needed to make that happen. And then a special thanks to our community response unit. Sergeant Murphy, Officer Hopkins, Steph, and Sergeant Jerome Francis did a good job putting that on. Keep in mind, too, we'll be having other events as the season progresses. We have September will be the open house for the police department, so a date to follow. And then Citizens Police Academy will be October.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions from any commissioner? Commissioner Harmon?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lieutenant Schaefer, it's Lieutenant Schaefer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Lieutenant, just a couple of comments and a question. So I want to thank you and the department for Cop Camp. I heard some really great feedback. So success, kudos, really good job. I also want to thank Cheltenham Township Police, Emergency Management, and all of our public safety folks, including our volunteer firefighters, for some great parades and events around 4th of July. I spent a lot of time in Glenside, and it was really, you guys were working hard, and everything was really buttoned up. And I know that between the police department, Public Works, and Emergency Management, there was a lot going on behind the scenes, but everything went off without a hitch. And I just want to thank you all for your hard work, which we all know about it, but sometimes it goes unrecognized because it is a lot behind the scenes. So thank you for all that. The question I have has to do with speed citations. So I see the numbers ticking up, which is really important. It's responsive to lots of concerns in the community. But I'd like to understand a little better sort of the relationship between traffic citations and speed citations. So are traffic citations things like broken taillight, running through a stop sign, and speed citations are obviously speeding? And I guess my question really is, are we in a situation where a car is being pulled over for multiple violations and perhaps only getting a traffic citation rather than both a traffic citation and a speed citation? Because the numbers seem pretty divergent to me.
So yes, there could be multiple citations issued from one traffic stop. Generally, though, we are not doing things like tail lights. That's just not mechanical. We're going after moving violations. So when you see speed there, the 76, that'd be somebody who's actually clocked or followed, and they say, okay, they're over the speed limit. The other ones could include, though, if someone's driving recklessly, carelessly. Those are the things we're going after. We're trying to change the behavior there, because those are generally the offenses that are going to lead to crashes and somebody getting hurt. So that's what we're targeting. And department-wide, I could say that's primarily what we're looking for. Again, change that behavior.
That's helpful to understand. What I would suggest is, if there is some level of discretion on the officer who pulls a vehicle over, I would suggest that speed citations as well as traffic citations should be issued, because yes, dangerous behavior in vehicles, which could lead to dangerous situations, certainly needs to be addressed. But I also, and this is my personal opinion, I think speeding is that, right? I think speeding is dangerous. I think speeding is a problem in this township. And to the extent we are pulling someone over for speeding and then using discretion to give them a different citation, I think we should consider doing both, because that message needs to be made loud and clear to the motoring public coming through our township. Just a thought. So thank you for that, Lieutenant.
Understood. I'll pass that along.
Much appreciated. And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those are my questions.
Okay. Well stated, Mr. President. I absolutely agree with you. Any other questions in reference from Lieutenant Schaefer for tonight? All right, not seeing any, I call for the approval of our police chief report for the month of May 2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Safety. You can definitely stay on if you like.
Thank
Uh,
you.
We are now going to hear from our Fire Marshal for his report for May of 2025. Mr. Lynch.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good
Is there any questions on my submitted report?
Any questions on that report?
If not, I have one thing I'd like to add.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just wanted to report, as you know, I'm a member of the Cheltenham Fire Company, and the last Tuesday in June through July, the Cheltenham Fire Company is doing a fire camp. We actually met with Sergeant Schaefer and got the brilliant idea from the police department, and we're using it as a recruitment retention type of thing for 14 and above, for kids to start getting involved in the fire service to hopefully, retain some new members coming forward. So it's Tuesday nights. They're running it from 6:30 to about 8:30, and it's a very good turnout. There's about 30 right now, about 30 kids involved. So we're happy to report that. And again, kudos to the police department for guiding us. Sergeant Murphy helped us a bit with it, and so did Chief.
Scott, question. Do you know if our other stations are doing the same type of event for kids?
Not that I'm aware of. We figured we'd be the guinea pig with this, or Cheltenham Fire Company figured they'd be the guinea pig to see how it goes as a single company. And then I know that Chief Chris Strock has talked to the other chiefs to see about interest in doing a joint thing moving forward.
Okay.
So there was they initially started out with a $20 fee that would cover a T-shirt and things like that, but they did away with the fee, and because there was only a few people signed up. Once the fee went away, they ended up, like I said, a total of about 30 now.
Fantastic. Thank you. Commissioner Cherico, I see your hand, sir.
Sure. Hey, Scott. Good afternoon. Thanks. Or I should say Fire Marshal Lynch. My apologies.
It doesn't matter.
That was inappropriate. Sorry. Hey, I just want to make sure if I'm looking at this report correctly, or maybe I'm misunderstanding, it might be a typo. And I just want to make sure I understand the 2025 totals are the same as the 2024 totals. So I think maybe if you could update that, those 2024 totals were different last month.
Yes,
So
they were.
if you could maybe fix that and then resubmit it for the minutes.
Yes, I will.
Appreciate it. But also, that's the only thing.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you. So, Scott, any other additional information you have?
Nothing for this committee.
Okay, so I'm going to call for the approval with the changes that needs to be made, brought to our attention by Commissioner Cherico, for the approval of the Fire Marshal's report for May of 2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lynch. We're going to move on now to Emergency Medical Service Chief, Ms. Bartos, your report for May of 2025.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Does anyone have any questions about my report as it's submitted? I think I see.
Yes, I don't have any questions about your report. I do have a general question in reference to bill payment with the changes that are being made in in DC. It is sort of like,
Who can tell the difference?
Freudian slip, huh?
yes.
So
With the changes that are
that's
being,
one of the things that I was going to address.
yeah, with the, how would that,
We have gotten notice from the House, Pennsylvania House of Representatives, that it is going to be decreasing the Medicaid reimbursement. They increased it. And it is actually, we get better reimbursement through Medicaid right now than we do Medicare. Medicaid is going to be decreasing to Medicare level. So it will be significantly higher than it was prior to 2024, but it is going to start to go down by at least $150 per patient contact. So we will see that impact our finances, but they have not given us a hard stop date for that yet. So it's kind of just, we've been told that it's going to happen.
Okay,
We'll just wait and see when it does.
okay. All right, thank you. Commissioner Rappaport, did I see your hand up?
That was exactly my question.
Oh, okay. Any other questions for commissioners in reference to? Yes, Commissioner Lewis.
Yes, what's the source of that information?
I got that directly from the Ambulance Association of Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you.
There was also one other thing that I wanted to bring up to the commissioners. So the House has introduced a bill. It's Bill 1152. And it is about balanced billing and reimbursement for 911 emergency ambulance services. Right now, as it stands, commercial insurance companies we bill as a 911 call. However, they don't necessarily pay us at that rate. And there are several insurance companies that will not send the check to us. They will send the check to their member. So there is a significant amount of money that is out in the ether and in collections that patients don't realize that their insurance company will pay for it, but there are steps that need to be taken. So this bill that is being put forth now is actually going to allow for the commercial insurance companies to be billed to 350% of Medicare rate, and that will be it. And then they will send the check to us. So there will be no balanced billing for the patients. So that's something, balanced billing is a big thing that everybody is talking about. And the Ambulance Association of Pennsylvania has made an effort to try and end that situation with EMS for the state of Pennsylvania. And the Montgomery County Ambulance Association also is supporting that bill. So I was just wanting to let everybody know that bill is out there. And if you could reach out to our representative and let them know that we support that. Again, it's House Bill 1152.
Thank you. Thank you for the update on that. Commissioner Arman.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bartow, is that something that it would make sense for the township to write a letter to our electeds in Harrisburg to encourage their support of that bill?
So Commissioner Elliott did, Manager Elliott did talk to me about it. Yeah, right. She did talk to me about drafting a letter, which I'm in the midst of doing for you all to peruse and see if you will support that. So
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lewis, can you jump in on that, or you're not? Is this something that can fly by your office?
No, I
For the other,
I support the idea, and we certainly would support it.
okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bartos. Any other, anyone else have anything for Jessica tonight? If not, I call for the approval of the Emergency Medical Service Chief's report for May 2025. All those.
Aye.
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 My stuff, it's lightning over here and I'm flickering, so I might lose power. So just want to prepare everybody. My lights just flickered a little bit.
If you're the chairman, you can't lose power.
Oh, tonight I might be. All right, so.
Pedal faster.
Okay, Emergency Management Coordinator, Mr. Hillendorf, for June of 2025.
You're good for tonight. I'm in town. Nothing will happen. The dome is in place. If I was out of town, power would have gone out already.
Are you in prison?
No, I had to beat Kim's traffic cone today as we moved signboards. So I dressed
Okay. Just thought maybe something happened over the past month that we should know about.
Wow, tough crowd tonight. Actually, Commissioner Harriman stole my thunder.
Oh.
I wanted to thank everybody. There was a ton of work put into those parades to make them safe. I want to add to that list, Public Works. They were outstanding. We tried to keep things so that it didn't look like we were keeping it secure, but the whole route was secure. Police department did a great job. We had drones in the air. Long day, nothing happened. There were a couple of minor medical emergencies. That was it. So at one point, Kim said, "I'm so bored," and I said, "That's a good thing." So we are looking at ways to reduce the costs because there are some significant costs. We are looking at, for next year's budget, some movable bollards that would be hidden in the ground when not used, that would save having a truck or a police officer to block an intersection. So, but thank you all for your cooperation. We already sent a note to people, but please pass on Rich and the Public Works guys. Great job. That's really all we're working on. I did want to mention that this Saturday is Lamott's second annual Community Day. It is a one-day thing for the children. There will be a bounce house, and I wanted to remind the chairman, and he knows where I'm going. Last year, the chairman of this committee said that if we got a dunk tank, he would go in it. The dunk tank is being delivered Saturday morning. So we will see if he lives up to his promise, but we would invite you all to come. We hope for a very large turnout. You will see that the community, there have been some very good sponsors who have helped out. So thank you all again for the 4th. Hope to see you Saturday.
Ken,
Hey,
was
Ken.
that a dunk tank or a drunk tank?
This is one of those times that I just think I won't answer. How's that?
Hey, Ken,
Yes, sir.
promise made, promise kept.
Well, I'm going to be in there too.
I'll be
I've
there.
already been informed of that. So choose your time carefully, who you want to put in the dunk tank. So, thank you. And it's 12 to 4 on Saturday.
Thank you. Commissioner Rappaport, I see your hand. Hey, guys, I just have to put my dogs in the basement real quick with the thunder, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So with the various discussions on floods, very severe floods, in Texas and elsewhere, and with yesterday's multiple tornado warnings, many of us got notifications on our phones. You sent out an email, but in our day, when I was young, they called them air raid sirens. What is the protocol on the community-wide sirens and activating those when there is a warning situation, whether or flooding or active warning?
Due to all the modern electronics, all the sirens have gone away. With the exception, the only 2 siren systems that are active in the county are for the prison at Graterford and for the nuclear power plant. And they are both siren and PA systems. Someone raised that question with us like 2 weeks ago. Sirens don't mean anything to people anymore, and this generation. When the tornado warning went out, it went to every cell phone and every landline within whatever area the county designated. And so if you had a cell phone but were here from Arkansas, it would have gotten to your cell phone. We have limited to some extent what we're putting out on the Facebook page. We did put the tornado warning out right away, but if we put out everything that came out from the county, and this has been a concern for a while, we cry wolf so much that people stop watching. There has been a significant storm warning or warning and watch since Sunday. We got the most recent one about 25 minutes ago. So if there is something severe like the tornado, they're using reverse 911 as you saw yesterday. So to answer your question, no to the sirens, and there's no way the county can do it. without setting off each individual siren.
So you mentioned, I'm sorry, let me just follow up for a second. You mentioned that landlines are used.
Yes,
Go ahead, because essentially not everybody still, and mostly the seniors who are not into technology, many people who are on different shifts are asleep or have silenced their technology while they're in the middle of something. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to say this for sure.
That goes through
I can double
anyway.
check, but I believe that the reverse 911 comes through silent phones.
Okay.
I don't think you can cut that out.
Okay, and what about the landlines? What do you mean?
It will ring the phone and you do have to answer. So if you don't answer, you won't know. But
which phones? I'm sorry. Do you have to register for that service?
No.
So whose phones get activated?
Anything in the geographical area, that the county selects on a map, we can literally, if they approve it, we could do one block of Waverly Road and activate the phones just on that block. That text that everybody got yesterday went to the whole county.
Okay, but the landlines weren't necessarily activated.
I don't have one, so I can't answer that question. I will be happy to ask. I don't know if they just did cell phones. I don't.
Well, I know that some landlines were not activated. Right. So in that area, so
happy to that I'll check for you. I don't
thank
know.
You.
They did certainly, and it was on every TV station. I think everybody did a good job of getting the tornado warning out.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rappaport. Thank you, Ken. Rhonda, I see you in your hand. We'll start you at Citizen Forum. You'll be the first one.
No, of course. I just raised it now. I apologize.
We're going to go to Citizen Forum. So, Ken, are you anything else for Ken for tonight? Ken, you're okay?
I'm done, sir.
All right. So I'm going to call for the approval of item 1D, Emergency Management Coordinator Report for June 2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We're going to item 2 for tonight is the committee meetings. There was no fire board meeting, and there was traffic calming did meet on June 5th, 2025. Are there any questions? That report is attached. Any questions in reference to the traffic calming report? Not seeing any. I call for the approval of the traffic calming committee report for June of 2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Old business. I have one old business, and I sort of want to double up on what Ken said and Commissioner Arman. The parade over on the east side of Cheltenham went really well, and I do want to thank everybody, Public Works, EMS, our police, our fire. You guys did an amazing job over here. I know there was a little change in what we normally do over here, but it seemed like it went off well. And I just want to thank everybody for the East Cheltenham Community Parade. And that's my only item for old business. Any old business from the commissioners? Any new business for commissioners for public safety? And then we'll go to Citizen Forum. Rhonda, it's all yours.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I had trouble getting on. I live in an old building, so sometimes the new connection, I got to figure it out. This is a really sensitive subject to me because I come from Central Texas. So to Ken's point, no, many of us did not get the warning on our cell phones. We got the watch, but we did not get the warning. And so I don't know how we fix that, but that is crucial. And, here's my question, and forgive me if this is already addressed because I had trouble signing on. Can we just discuss what, the storm plan is when we hear, you know what I'm saying? And you don't. Here's my question. Do we have a regular assessment of storm management? And I don't mean like water, sewer. I mean like storm, how we're going to address it.
So coincidentally, let me cut you off. Everybody's phone is about to go off with a storm warning. So, If you don't get it,
But last night it's a flash flood warning, which of course is near and dear to my heart. I can't find some of my relatives. But here's the question. I'm not real clear what the issue is with not using the alarm system for a warning. And many of us did not get, I happened to be on social media because I had the TV on watching Kerrville, and that's how I learned about the warning. So the warning is not getting through unless someone like me or others post that we're now on a warning. So how do we fix that?
I will be happy to call the county in the morning.
And please don't take this as a criticism of the township, because I think you did a fabulous job during, the 5-day outage, etc. But I think citizens need to know that you're well planned and how you plan and how you prepare for these kind of storms.
Well, let me back up to the warning issue. That is a county and state program. The township does not send those warnings out. And in fact, we don't have access, nor will we ever, to reverse 911. That is a county thing sent out. I will be happy to call the county and let you know tomorrow, but I would almost guarantee you the stock answer, and probably rightfully so, phone provider issue, not, it went out. I mean, everybody I was with got it. It just went off again now. So I will check, but they're not going to be able to give a straight answer to that. As far as preparation goes, from the emergency management perspective, every storm is different. And we prepare as well as we can. I mean, we have a water rescue task force that came out of the massive flooding in Glenside. We have 2 boats. We have a 10-ton or 7-ton Marine Corps vehicle for rescue that gets moved to the center of the township when anything hits. Now, let me temper that with, we didn't move all of those things for the last 7 days. We can't. I mean, the overtime would be massive, but when we see tornadoes, or we get heads up from the people to the west and the north, and we do what we can. The best investment that we have ever made were the floodgates. In the 14 years or 13 years that we have had them, there has not been a vehicle rescue in gated areas, which means there have been no drownings and no victims to go rescue. The plan is fluid. We do have a basic plan. The county has moved many water rescue assets to Fort Washington, which we have assets to. The Eastern Montgomery County group gets together. The flooding that we avoided yesterday hit Lower Moreland big time. They had 8 vehicle rescues, and we all worked together as a team. It's thundering and lightning here now. You all got the notice, and again, probably because I'm in town, nothing's going to happen. So does that make sense? There is a plan. There's a community effort amongst the emergency services. Police, fire, and EMS and emergency management work together. We have 2 different operational levels for our EOC. We can open the big one, or if it's minor, we can open a watch desk. So the preparations are there. We're not going to make those plans public because there's no need for that.
Of course.
I don't think the sirens are a good idea, because the sirens are going to blow. If we have a vehicle rescue or something, the siren's going to blow again, because we got to get the firemen out, and you're just going to confuse people. That is old technology. There is 1 siren, which no longer works, left in town from the civil defense era, and it doesn't work. So, I know.
Thank you, Ken.
Respectfully, I appreciate everything you said, and I was aware of it. I just needed to ask it so that it could be on the video so that people understood. I still have concern, and rightfully so. And again, I'm trying to find some of my relatives who did not have an alarm, in Texas. So I guess that's why, and I know overuse of the alarm can be disruptive, but I just feel like that's something that needs to get addressed. And I get that we have so many, but I can tell you, I know of at least a dozen people who did not get the warning signal yet last night on their phone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. Darlene?
Good evening, everyone. Real quick, I want to thank the police officers and whoever came out to B&D Street to catch the gentleman dumping. Hi, thank you for the smile. That made the gentleman pick up what they saw. A neighbor over there did contact me about it, wondering why they didn't pick it all up. But I tried to explain that the officer probably only had him pick up what he's seen, being sight and scene officers. But I want to thank the police department and whatever officer came out. And that leads me, I hope this is the correct meeting, that the concern that was brought to me, like I'm not the queen of the forest, but B&D Street is now a mess, a total mess. The concerns are safety, rodents, dumping, health. I thought it was going to get knocked down and leveled. It now looks like, for whatever reason, the pile got higher. So that's with that.
Darlene, can I stop you? This is our.
Sure.
Where's the location?
B&D Street, so B&D and Willow. It was a demo of a house that had to be demo in the historical district because of neglect. And it's just that some of the neighbors had concern when they see people starting to dump, and this was before the trash. Hi, Scott.
Commissioner, can I take this? Please.
Yes, go ahead.
So the house was in imminent danger of collapse. It was ordered to be razed, which is demolished. The owner was cooperating. There was an issue with the owner paying the contractor. The contractor removed all of his equipment from the site. We have since been citing the owner. It is currently in the hands of the court, and we're waiting for a hearing date to be set by the judge, who all of his notices to the property owners have gone unanswered at this time. So the court is involved now in this with trying to get this rectified.
Thank you for the update.
Well, thank you. So that means that the pile just stays there. It doesn't get leveled. The township can't level it and then build them, add it on. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that might be more of a hardship to that owner, but does it just stay like that until the hearing?
Unfortunately, for now, yes.
Okay.
And then the judge, we've had, we being myself, the Building and Codes Department, we've had several meetings with the judge, and he's waiting for the person to respond to, shall I say, give him his penalties and things like that.
Okay. All right. So now the last thing, and they done dumped in the middle of the lot again. Yeah. And before, this is before Philadelphia's.
Which lot? Can you be more specific?
I'm sorry. Behind the commercial businesses on the 1900 block of Cheltenham Avenue.
I have that one too.
Uh-oh. We did fireworks on it.
Yeah, they did fireworks down there. They left a mess. I've reached out to the owner of the establishment verbally, and he received a violation for accumulation of trash and debris on his property. And that was yesterday that that went out.
Yeah, they started to dump, and then the city had their little issues, and then they had the fireworks. Okay, and I heard about the speeding. I'm still waiting for my camcorder. I might just have to buy my own.
You, Ms. Miller. All right, I don't see any hands up tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other hands up. I'm gonna call for the adjournment of tonight's public safety meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.